Hello, everybody. Today we're going to be talking about the UFC's Freedom 250 event, the unbelievable show that the White House put on, and overlaid is the footage from a celebration we had July 4th in Hawaii. A bunch of countries were there, and we strapped our ships to each other, and we had a big shindig. About 4 months ago, our government said that the Freedom 250 event was going to be held on the White House lawn, and in attendance was going to be hundreds of active duty service members. That's called OPSEC. If you tell people where soldiers are going to be and sailors are going to be, that's when the plot starts. And we had a terror plot foiled, guys. Thank goodness. Here's a little bit of information on the terror plot that was foiled for the Freedom 250 event. The plan. Investigators allege the conspirators planned to detonate explosive-laden drones near the event. The explosions would cause mass panic. There would be a bottleneck of people running into the areas of exit, and there they had positioned snipers to take out our American people. The network is connected to a TikTok group called the Vanguard of the Old. And the FBI was tipped off. Kash Patel once again comes to the rescue. Kash Patel has been one of the best FBI directors of all time. I don't know about the Epstein stuff, but of all time, he's caught eight of the world's most dangerous people so far. He's going after fraudsters. I mean, he's doing it. Crime is down all across the country, despite what you see on X. He's doing it. So he found it. He caught it. Multi-state operation, sting operation. Attacks were stopped cold. All right, so if you guys are going to have an event, we see this with our government. They love to talk about where we're going and what we're doing. That's, again, OPSEC. That's operational security, direct security breach of our American service members. I was scared immediately when they announced the event. Man, that'd be a good time to attack. You know, when you announce all these people are going to be in the same place. Anyway, it didn't happen. Things worked out. It was an awesome event. I would dare say the best sporting event that I've ever seen. And I wasn't there, obviously, but just watched it on TV. The fights were unbelievable. 7 fights, 7 finishes. This is what America's all about. Now, the event overview, it ended with Justin Gaethje, Ilia Topuria. Now you have the Claw, which is this crazy contraption the UFC built to house the fights. And then you have this big lawn with all these screens so you could just come and watch the event in the lawn. Spectacular. All countries, Canada, Spain, Brazil. We had all kinds of countries representing, not just Americans, but the American fighters really went after it. Justin Gaethje versus Ilia Topuria. Justin Gaethje is from a small farming town called Safford. I'm from Arizona. I just told my dad that a guy from Safford won the UFC championship, and he audibly gasped. He beat Ilia Topuria in American-style fashion, and Ilia Topuria had held a celebration of winning the night before the event. He threw a party, and Justin Gaethje had a different plan. He held the Rocky spirit, the American spirit, on his shoulders, and he put on the show of a lifetime, battering the Spaniard. And it was an awesome fight. There was a lot of good fights on the event, on the card. Pereira versus Gane, Brazilian versus Frenchman. John Jones would absolutely starch both of these men. John Jones is over the hill. He has retired and is no longer a UFC champion. But, yeah, that's what I got from that fight. O'Malley was awesome. O'Malley had a walkout where the Marine band was playing the walkout music. And, oh, my goodness. Sean O'Malley comes out. Mind you, they're walking through the entire White House. I think a couple of the guys were even walking out from the Oval Office. You know, their locker rooms they put pads on the floor, and these rooms were like gold-laden rooms, and they were warming up in. Absolutely cool and awesome. He comes out, Sean O'Malley comes out to this walkout, and the most beautiful singer comes out and just lays it down. Absolute cool band. And it's one of the coolest jobs you can have in the military is the band. You're not going to have the war stories your friends do, no doubt about that. But you're going to be playing music in front of mass crowds of people, and guess what? You're going to have pretty good seats to the event. That Marine band, those service members playing the music, they all had $1 million tickets to the event. And so it's pretty cool. I got to go to let me tell you how this works out. This is us shooting fireworks off of the warships, and it's just kind of cool. Anyway, let me tell you how it works out. If you're a really good sailor, you're a really good Marine or soldier, you're going to be, and this event comes around, the command will basically give you the best sailors a chance to go and watch these events. I was chosen one time to go to one of these events. We got to go to a Seattle Seahawks football practice. They chose the sailors that were doing well. They were up on their qualifications, and they were typically good sailors. They don't just run dirt bags out there to these events like the UFC 250. No, you have to be straight up, tight and right, a good military and good service member. If you're struggling with your whiskers, if you can't shave, they're not going to put you at the UFC 250 event. Okay, guys? These are not deployed people as well, so they don't bring people home from deployment to go to these events. They're usually shore duty type folks. So that's how it goes. But it's cool to get invited to these events. I wish I was invited to more. And for them, it was, to get a chance to see this event, this sporting event, which will never be topped. It will never be topped as far as the production value. The UFC spent $20 million to build this claw. This claw was filled with lights and stuff, and it was, if somebody from Brazil would come out, the claw would light up the Brazilian colors, green and yellow. It was just unbelievable. And so they spent $20 million. I doubt any other organization can flip that bill. You're not going to find DAZN being able to pay to watch a combat sporting event at the White House. But anyway, it's a one-off, and the athletes rose to the occasion and showed what it's all about to be America. One of my favorite points of the event was when Sean O'Malley's opponent, he's Canadian, he comes out and they sang "Oh Canada," and 80,000 American people at the event in the lawn were singing "Oh Canada," and you could hear it. And you know what? We got a lot of Canadians in America. We love Canadians. They hate our guts, but guess what? We love Canada, and it was really cool to see that. And I've been to many events where there's Canadians. I actually played baseball where I played baseball and coached baseball in Canada. And every time we did the national anthem, it was "Oh Canada" and the national anthem. It took a long time, but one thing's for sure is we don't boo other countries in our country. We have the class that supersedes that stupidity. It was really cool. We showed out as Americans at this event. Americans got to see who we were and the spirit of our fighters and the spirit of our celebrations. We celebrate all countries as a melting pot of America. It was really neat. Not much else happened. Conor McGregor's fighting coming up, and he did an interview that was, just like his other interviews. Looks like he's half popped on cocaine. But the American's going to starch McGregor. He's going to beat him up bad. Conor McGregor should have fought Michael Chandler. Michael Chandler fought at the UFC 250. He looked like he hadn't been in the cage in a while, and that's what happens. But our Hawaiian, I forget his name right now for some reason. We got a Hawaiian going to be beating up McGregor on July 11th, right after the celebration of our country again. Here's what's called in the U.S. Navy. I've thought that I could show you what a smoker looks like in the U.S. military. If you have a problem with one of your fellow sailors, you guys have the job, and this is a long time ago, you have the job A leader will either write a counseling chit or they can get busy with their fists. So that's how it used to be in the U.S. military. You could see this is a long time ago. The uniforms, and we got a couple of sailors going at it, and I'm filming it. I had a little bit of trepidation when I was filming this, kind of felt bad a little bit, but we can laugh about this stuff now. Nobody was hurt, obviously, but this young man's pride who's getting wailed on right now. But that's America. We're fighters. We have fighting spirit running through our veins, and that's what we're all about. 250, Freedom 250 event, the UFC. This has been a rough couple of years for the UFC as far as their fighters are concerned, but they just put on one of the best sporting events I've ever witnessed. I've been and seen a lot of them. It was really cool to see. So have a great day. It's good to be an American. Bless you if you're not an American. Come visit, have some steak, have some barbecue. See ya.